line. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey. I started trying low for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
And tonight's action could not have been brought to you without the help and friends from our great sponsors for the Elemental Racing League Truck Series. Thank you so much to everyone for their support. And now, on to the Pit Stall 50 at Talladega. Man, oh man, oh man. Yes. Hello, everyone. It has been way too long since I've been with you guys. It's been way too long since I've been able to really appreciate and see you guys all around here and work with you. But here I am, back in PTM Racing TV headquarters and studio. I'm back home at long last. COVID tried to knock me down, take me out. It didn't do a very good job because I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm kicking, I'm still punching, and we've got everything ready and fired up, and we are set to go for the action here at the Pit Stall 50 at Talladega Superspeedway, presented in part by our friends at the Pit Stall. Be sure to check out their series and their races coming up throughout the summer and fall series. From our friends at the ButtKicker Company, best in performance on feeling rail tracks of the virtual world, the ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. By our friends at Ford Entertainment Group PC.net, matching your want with their wallet. Ford Entertainment Group PC.net looks to bring out the best designs in your style of livery and PC and market affiliation to get on iRacing. and by our friends at Lightning Wrapz. Most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz looks to bring out the best designs in the livery. And race fans, we come to you today in happy cheers and spirits. Unfortunately, though, we do need to take one little minute to honor the legacy and the commemoration of one Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen of England, unfortunately, has passed away here recently. The young gal born, though, in 21st of April in 1926 at 2:40 a.m. to her parents of the Duke and Duchess of York, who later became King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen's mother. We unfortunately have lost the Queen here not too long ago. On September 8th of 2022, she passed away peacefully at Balmoral Castle, Scotland. So, from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, and for everyone around the world who has come forth here on this racing channel and come forth, of course, on the international level, we are going to present a quick moment of silence for the Queen Elizabeth II. So now, without further ado, at long last, the moment you have all been waiting for, it is time to get down to the action, get down to the racing action, as we're about to present to you, live on PTM Racing TV, the Pit Stall 50 here at Talladega Superspeedway, live here and now on the show. We had to get a little technical difficulties there. Our sound and audio cues were not going through. That's okay. Quick fix. Nothing to it. So without further ado, here we go, race fans. Let's get down to it here. It is time for your starting lineup for the action here at the Pit Stall, for the Pit Stall 50, presented in part by ButtKicker. Here is your screening lineup for today's action. On the pole, he rockets on number 1. It will be Bobby Anderson. It is outside the 99. It is Wally Babb. Row number 2 will be the closer, Cindy Taylor, looking to go for another championship in the 07, but they're outside fellow brother Keith Taylor, the 08. And row number 3, we will see it will be Mike right out in the 76. Is outside, it's the 27 of Corey Reed. Row number 4 is the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn, the defending Pedal to the Metal Racing League Truck Series champion. And the 21 is outside, is the Big 8 himself, Tyler Orrick. And row 5, it's Jordan Darnell. The 15 is outside, will be Jeffrey Vickery in the 7. Row number 6 is Hunter Hansen in the 13. It is outside in the Big 3. Representing the 3 camp, it's Jason Henry. Row number 7 from the 07, it will be Chris Bass. It is outside, it will be the 84 of Matthew Hoffert. And row number 8, Corey Stahl pilots the 66 and is outside Robert Hissong in the 28. Rubber 9, it's going to be Jeff Oakes, and the 20 is outside the 5, the throttle, Chantel Bottle. And row number 10 will be Stephen Ford, and the 7-7 is outside. Sean Long will pilot the 98. Row number 11, Shane Ledoux will be in the 12, it is outside the 87. It is Kevin Baker, shotgun on the field, the 14, Joker Joe Nuttleman. Here we are, race fans, the season opener, the first leg, the first race of the new season, presented in part by our friends at the pit stalls. It is time to hang it low and let these drivers go for broke. Let them hear you as we bring you the action here and now on PTM Racing TV. to the fans' roar, the heavens' delight. It is time for the drivers to shine bright. Talladega, let the action commence and let the racing bring back forth. It's go time at Talladega! Here we go to the start. Robert Kahn will have an early problem as they'll have to come from pit road and work his way from the outhouse to the White House. As we fire him off, though, lap 15 will be our stage break for our first leg of the race here. As we start him off here, everyone getting a good jump. So far, so good. No troubles here. Bobby Anderson leads the pack, and the Thrills ahead, though. He is your current leader as Whitebat looks to try to shoot above with a little push from the Keith Taylor. He will get the push to the lead. Similar design trucks, don't worry, they're not the same trucks though. Corey Reed in the 27, his reconstruction machine, very different in terms of how he drives and how he scopes. Keith Taylor, much of the same. Both guys though have that similar drive and want to win. That will be the main thing you gotta always watch out for with them. The onboard camera with Tyler Orrick here as we lay down him onto the track here, continuing to make his pace and presence felt. Been a winner here on PTM Racing TV before, but never a champion. Would love to change that this season. In order to do so, though, he's got a lot of work he's going to have to come without. Pretty clean little gap in here position for everybody so far. I'm not surprised by this. Of course, we talked about it constantly with how these plate tracks work. A lot of drivers typically try to take it easier out of the start. Don't try to do anything too crazy. They want to try to make things as easy as possible and work out the bugs later. But really, in my opinion, the biggest thing these guys and gals have got to watch out for is, without a doubt, is the fuel run. The fuel mileage is a 50% fuel mileage, and you're going to get about halfway into the stage before you really start to kind of figure out how it's looking on one end versus the other. And most of the time, you'll see a lot of guys kind of making some mistakes when maybe they don't really think they are making that slight little error, that little bobble, until it's too little too late. As mentioned as well, here are some brand new drivers to the stage and to the format. Stephen Ford making his PTM Racing TV debut with the Pedal Metal Racing League Truck Series. Donovan showing from him out of the gate. Remember, he qualified 19th, and right now he's currently in the 9th slot, not doing too shabby for himself. You may see a little slowdown as well on the stream here. Don't worry, that'll get fixed up when we get to the caution. For the stage break, we'll put a little fix. We'll do a little fix up on our end. But believe me, we know it's there, folks. Field starting to work their way around here. Everybody looking pretty solid as they're trying to go top side, middle line, bottom lane, anywhere they can find that's got some run to it. Good to see some classic guys like Joker Joe Nuttleman return in that big 14 Joker mobile machine, as he likes to refer to it. Likes to play a little trick every now and then on some drivers, so they kind of gave him the old name, the Joker, and he ended up kind of taking that scheme and going with it, so I gotta give him credit for that. 66 Corey Stahl here, got a nice little ride design here. I believe second time we've ever seen him on the PTM Racing TV series so far. Field working their way on around though, coming off down the back straight away now. It's a 3 wide tandem salute here. Everybody looking solid, trying to hang in there. No driver getting the advantage yet though. That is not going to be an easy game either. That's going to be something I'm going to watch out for constantly. He's getting a little too close for comfort, maybe getting a little too close to danger zone there. You can see the field marching their way down though, across the back on the front straightaway here as they are leading closer and closer to the stage lap. Lap 15 is the stage. Tonight as well, race fans, we will have as well the return of Pushing Limits Racing League on later tonight as they will make their television debut for season 6. Here on the Showcase of Racing broadcast. cannot wait to see what they have in store and what they bring to the table. Last season, absolutely chaotic and crazy to believe. But speaking of crazy to believe, there are some faces maybe you remember from our very first seasons of Pedal Metal Racing League and PTM Racing TV in general. Yeah, Shane Ledoux is back with the field, and he's back with the track as well. Coming back after a little bit of a hiatus, I believe, from the ARCA series and the Street Stock series, actually, since we've had him. For those that don't know, Street Stocks and Legends were the very first two series these trucks and these drivers ever ran. And the main thing there was because it was cheap and there was actually free content. And we had looked back though on like how things have changed and how crazier things have gotten. I think maybe we'd be having to swing a different tune, different channel, because honestly I wouldn't have been able to believe we were calling that stuff, much less trying to do what we were doing back then with what we got now. And 99 and Wally Babb, good to see him back out here as well, trying to take on some of the competitors. He's been out here quite a few times, and he's been in the show quite a few areas as well. And he's definitely been one of those guys that you just kind of keep your eye on, no matter where he goes, no matter what happens with him, because he's kind of a threat in some cases, and at times he can be a bit of a head scratcher, because he knows how to drive, but putting his talents to good work can be a bit of a trouble, and he knows it too. Robert Hissong, the 28, Mobile One, returning back to the show as well. Been a while since we have seen the 28 of Hissong. Hissong was a little bit on the vacant side, wasn't quite hanging around anyone or anything for that matter. He was just kind of doing his own stuff for a while. And now that he is back, really making a bit of a triumphant return here out of the gate. But again, this only is the first race of the season. Next week truly will be a challenge in itself, as these drivers will have to take on the famed Texas Motor Speedway. Huge crowd on hand here down in Talladega as well from our friends and family that are watching on the PTM Racing TV live show. Thank you so much for tuning on in. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe to our Facebook and to our YouTube ends. We certainly would appreciate it. And plus on our YouTube, we have some live content that you won't get anywhere else unless on the live send. So be sure to check that out when we get a chance. Onboard camera here with the 5 Chantel, the throttle bottle here. And last season, she had kind of another one of those good years, good seasons, but she told me earlier today that I'm getting so sick and tired of being in that second, third, or fourth, or fifth driver in the points. I want to finally win one in Pedal Metal. It's been way too long, and I miss it. Well, I mean, if it's a good start here, if you can try to find a way to pull off a win on this track, it's going to be very challenging, though, because you got a front row and murderer's row, I would say, of brand new talent and drivers that are seemingly pretty good at using how to work with each other and figure stuff out. As a big push comes here from Matthew Hoffert to old Oaksy, his old teammate and friend, the 20, Jeffrey Oaks. Oaksy and Hoffert working back together, of course, back in the NASCAR heat days, trying to help each other better for the races. But when it came to the racing action itself, there was no such thing as teammates, and there never is on this show. So right now they're just kind of using each other as a bit of a bump draft to see which one has the most talent of the other to figure out the rest. Onboard camera here as well with a Toyota Tundra driver number 7 making his TV debut. It is Jeffrey Vickery, and he qualified 10th out of the run here, and actually is able to hold on to the 5 spot here. So 5 spots up so far for Vickery. Very good spot to be put into, but the question is, can he make that last throughout the rest of this race? Because doing that on this kind of track is a bit of a crapshoot, and he knows it too. Closing in on the final 5 laps. Kevin Baker has entered in for pit road. He has left pit road. Robert Kahn, you can't tell right now, but he's currently somewhere up ahead. These drivers are watching very carefully at that, as we're going to go 3 wide saloon on the front stretch. There's Baker on the 87. He'll stay to the bottom, stay out of trouble, and the rest of the field move their way around. Off the pace into the tempo, down the end to the corners. So far, so good. It's been very clean, but again, this is only the beginning. This is still a long road of 50 laps. These drivers have got to get dialed in. That is the challenge they face. That's going to be their ultimate weakness. Can they manage to concede and confine to those levels and to that laying field? These restrictions and that level of aggression that you see drivers usually try to push up usually starts to come even further when you get late into a race, because you're just looking for those last minute positions, those last minute spots. And it's an extremely tough little deal to be put into when you know it. 07 runner-up last season, Cindy the Closer Taylor, returning back as well. Last time we saw her, she had an unfortunate, or I guess you could say an abysmal race in Michigan. But really what she told me flat out was like, I know it was only one race, but I had a whole season, I could have won that, so that's my own fault that she put it. So she said today, I'm going to learn and I'm going to listen and just go with the track's telling me, and hopefully everything else works out in the end. Well, it seems to be working out in the end right now, because currently she's still up into that mid-pack, looking for some spots and looking for some positions. But the man they're all trying to hunt down right now as other drivers head for pit road is the 27 of Corey Reed. Jeffrey Vickery, Jordan Darnell, Sean Long, Wally Babb, Stephen Ford, Corey Stahl, Shane Ledoux, Bobby Anderson, they have all entered pit road. So this will now be a first look at how these drivers will fare. And it looks like they're already kind of coming up with their own little strategy here, as they know that the stage is coming up to an end here. I think what they're trying to plan out is maybe having to go into pit road now. Later on, they don't have to go in, so they'll have a little bit more time for fuel. And then they'll be able to jump ahead of these guys in the rest of the field. By the way, you're going to have to at least go into pit road 2 or 3 times in this race. I'd say even some might have to do 4 times, depending on how things go. If they keep it clean, like we've seen here before, though, they can easily be worked around. I don't think they'll have anything to worry about. Now for camera here with your new race leader, Hunter Hansen, as Keith Taylor tries to, shall we say, flip that switch around quickly as he goes topside. He's trying to put the checkmate 08 ahead. Very awesome designed up pieces of equipment these trucks are, man. There's some absolute barn burner bangers in there. Absolutely love the look of them. I love the designs of some of these things. Joe Nuttleman getting a little close maybe for the 76 of Mike Rada, a little too close for his own comfort. Nearly gets clipped up into that mess, but just to stay out of it. Some of the field kind of back there, storming on back, kind of laying away as we're coming closer and closer to the end of the stage. Down to the sector, into the corners they go. Caution lights are on, and we have now finally thrown the caution for the stage break. Race fans, we are in stage number 1, and now we are going to go into the final leg of this race. Stage break has commenced. The drivers have looked strong so far, but the guy that took the stage win that will now have to try to keep everyone behind him will be the 08 of Keith Taylor. Cindy Taylor, his sister, follows behind. Can any of them, or even Hunter Hansen, be able to hold on and take the win? You're going to have to find out with us when we come back live here on PTM Racing TV. Today's race here is presented in part by the Pit Stall. Be sure to check out for their local listings of the leagues and their summer and fall series. Thanks again to the Pit Stall for helping us out this season. By the ButtKicker Company, best in performance on feeling real tracks of the virtual world. The ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. By Ford Entertainment Group, PC.net, matching your want with your wallet. They look to bring out the best of the PCs you can get for your buck. And by Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz looks to bring out the best designs in your libraries.
When you need the best designs in your fleet of vehicles, there's only one brand name that many trust in. One that makes every car pop out from the rest of the field, and that is Lightning Wrapz. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at Lightning Wrapz. Get yourself a vehicle unlike the rest. Lightning Wrapz, the most affordable designs made at your leisure.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back again, race fans here, live here still at the Pit Stall 50 at the Talladega Superspeedway for Pedal to the Metal Racing League season opener. Field currently getting set back up in position and currently getting set on a round from their pit stops. Looks to set the field back up in pace and back into the drive, and we're about to see them go at it once again. For pit road, though, it is Mike Ryder in the 76 who was able to outsmart and outdo Keith Taylor in terms of the pit stop. That allows Ryder to now get ahead of the bunch and now set the field in this tone. Matthew Hoffert in the 84, Hunter Anderson in 13, and Jeffrey Oaks in the 20 and the 20 at Robert Hissong rounding out your three rows. The rest of your field right now are going to have to find a way to dial it up and get ready to go again. Off the corners down, turn number 4. We bring him to the front stretch tri-oval to our green flag ride up ahead. Green is back out for the Pit Stall 50. Problems as well right now for Robert Kahn in the 21. Unfortunately, not able to get his truck up to stuff and back up to par, so he's going to have to start this season off on a down note, unfortunately, and not the way he was hoping for either. That's a lot of points he's losing out on. If you have to remember, being a couple laps down on any track is hard enough, but on Talladega or Daytona, well, unless your name's Bill Elliott and you got a 1987 Cup car working, I do not favor your chances there, my friends, to get ahead or back on that lead lap. Moving up the chains right now, field getting stretched in more as we go. So far, so good. Looking pretty clean again. Haven't seen too many big risks, big jumps, or big pushes. It seems like everybody just using more of the draft and just kind of staying in line. As I say that, Keith Taylor, oh my word, he just threw the haymaker at the 5. Gentel Pato, I don't think is going to be appreciating that block too much. Doesn't exactly like having to push drivers around. Usually she's the one on plate tracks that gets the push stuff. I don't know what the heck I just said there, but I'm just going to have to go with it. Mackin in the pack here, the 97 of Chris Bass here. I believe that's how we're going to say his last name. It might be bass, like a bass from guitar, like bass from rock and roll music. So if I'm saying your name wrong, man, please let me know. I apologize in advance. Anyone else on the show, please let me know. If I ever say your name wrong, do come at me and let me know like how to properly say it so I don't mess up no more. 3 wide salute though, watch out as well because Bobby Anderson, the big one, is high tailing it up there, and he is currently making a dive and a charge up on that top side. Bobby Anderson, remember, was your number 1 qualifier going into this race, and so far he's showing you why he was number 1 out of the gate. Making a strong showing of himself here in the early going. Coming right back around right now, Kevin Baker, the 87. So many times, so many places he's been close and closer to that win that he's been searching for. Looking to try to knock that one off at last year. He's working his way up through the field, using a little bit of that draft from the rattlesnake Robert Kahn in the 21. Yeah, he is in this race, and he's finally now coming back up, but he's still a lap down unless he can get around Anderson here. Robert Kahn, more known for really just his overall powerhouse representation he presents in any of the leagues he runs in. But he has been, as of late, on a bit of a downturn. Hasn't quite been to victory lane yet in a time or two. Hasn't quite been able to work out and stretch out with some of these drivers. He's looking to try to change that today with this race, but it's going to be a tough ordeal considering that he's got about 22 other drivers to have to try to take on as well as have to win from. And if that continues to be what we see day in and day out, week after week for this league, I honestly think we may be seeing probably the greatest league season ever for this go around, because that's a lot of drivers that are constantly coming out here and battling for position. And the points will make it that much more interesting. Back on board here with Corey Stahl on the 66 machine. Corey currently laying in wait below, looking to try and drive off and hang in there. Getting it right up ahead of Jason Henry in the 3 truck right now. Currently the 3 of Henry. Going with a little bit of a Mark Martin scheme on that one. And, you know, I have a love for Mark Martin as a driver, and I do like some of his schemes. And I can tell you right now, though, that is not exactly what these drivers are expecting. Big wreck behind, and even hits Henry going for a ride. Huge wreck as drivers scatter to get out of there. Jeffrey Oaks upside down in the 20, though. Well, I have absolutely no idea what the heck happened there, other than we're going to have to go visit the PTM Instant Replay. Well, that was a wild, wild little ride there. Everybody going for a bit of a go gap here. And right there you see the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn. Looks like he catches the 27 of Corey Reed, and Oaksy just catches a huge, horrible break here. The upside down, flipped on around. Absolutely nowhere to go. And that right there was just kind of the coup de grace to it all, unfortunately. One more look at it. Let's see if we can figure out like what led up to this exactly. You can see Kahn, he's catching up pace speed. He's got a good run here on Corey. Has an opening here. You can see him pushing up closer. He goes the outside though. Corey barely comes up. And it just barely looks like Kahn and Corey just kind of get into each other. Corey went up slightly and Kahn trying to drop a little bit lower, but I don't think that quite worked out the way he was hoping for. Tough break. So field right now will have to work their way back on around and back into position here. Do not fear, folks. We're not currently having any troubles on our end or technical difficulties. We're just currently still dealing with the effects of having to come from our old production booth we were at just for the few weeks we were there, and now having to get back used to the old stuff. So this will take me a quick second here to get that back up. There we go. I think we finally got it. Or maybe not. Maybe we might have to put the technical difficulty screen up here. There we go. I think we got it fixed. That's all a process, folks. Don't worry. We'll get this dialed back up. Well, back to the Maracas and back to the chaos. We're back green at Talladega. And I think we do have what we need to figure out, so it looks like we might have actually had the wrong settings on our end here. When we went live, of course, some of our updates here, or Streamlabs actually was taking place, so we have to currently get that dialed up again. Our streaming service, anyway. Don't worry, we'll have it fixed when we get to the race here at Pushing Limits Racing League tonight, guys. Don't be afraid. Making their way on around though currently, as a strong showing by every driver involved, looking for their spot, looking for their chances to get further into this field and further on the drive. Chantel, the throttle bottle on the 5, staying down low as Keith Taylor and Matthew Hoffert move farther ahead. City Taylor joining them. A formidable lineup and a formidable field, and with only one instant repair, only 2 instant repairs that these guys and gals can use, definitely kind of makes you wonder how much some will push and how some will just stay away from pushing. Oopsie and Right Out right now currently are out of this one. Jeff Oakes, unfortunately, did not quite have the best showing here last season, and yeah, right now this is definitely not the way he wanted to start this season on. 4 wide, Salundo down on the front straightaway. We've got a murder's row up ahead, boys. This could be a bad spot, but everybody's holding their line well. Bobby Anderson nearly clipping the rear end out of the 98 of Sean Long. Manages to catch him out of there. The 28 of his son going back. Commanding the yellow line rule and making sure he stays away from starting any trouble there, much as starts himself in any problems as well. That's a good move in my opinion. Not doing too much to yourself and making sure you stay out of that mess helps you out a lot more than I think many will realize. 20 laps to go. This time on by here, we are getting one step closer to the finish. Look at this. We've talked about 4 wide, we've talked about 4 deep. Well, how about we're 3 wide deep? Look at this. 4 3 wide deep trucks right now, completely stuck together like glue, and they have absolutely holding the line down, keeping it all in good nature. Not too careful, it could become a 5D chess move here. This is an absolutely impressive showing by everybody involved. To be able to hold that line, be able to push and still run as quickly as they are, that takes a lot of work, that takes a lot of guts. Much takes charisma just to hold it out. Everybody just going for broke and hanging in there. Uh-oh, trouble down there though. Caution's out. We got a caution out here. There's problems on the back half, unfortunately. Shane Ledoux in the 12, Kevin Baker in the 87, Jason Henry all involved in the wreck here. And I'm not too sure what exactly charged that up and what that was caused from. We'll take a look at the PTM Racing replay, presented by the ButtKicker company. And ironically, it wasn't even anything to do with the guys in the big pack. It was back in the rest of the pack. Joe Nuttleman, unfortunately, in the 14. Looks like he may have got a little too close for comfort and end up colliding in with one of the drivers. I believe he got the 12 of Shane Ledoux as they're coming through the tri-oval, heading for turn number 1. He did, and unfortunately that is what stirred on the wreck and stirred on the problem there. See Mike Rideout's trying to avoid it, and it wasn't quite what he had hoped for, so that's definitely a tough break there, but unfortunately, as I say, there's really nothing you can do about it. They'll move on now and get them back into pit road, get themselves cleaned up, and hopefully we'll see them back out on the track here, but definitely things getting wild here at Talladega, to say the least. So field right now getting stretched back up in position, back into their proper working spots here. field will work their way on around right now, and we are looking closer and closer to the end of this race. Off the distance, in, down, through the front straightaway, back to the green flag. We charge them, green flag high in the air. "15 laps left to go. Now becomes a will of strength and speed, a testament to their nature. You can hear that offset on and off throttle there of Robert Kahn, the 21, just trying to avoid trouble, while at the same time trying to line up the front and the back bumper with other drivers, getting some serious speed and some kick up in there. Shane Ledoux, Stephen Ford in the 66 also coming back out. Shane Ledoux in the 12, the 66 of Corey Stahl, I should say, excuse me. Currently trying to stick with the field, trying to hang in there. Stephen Ford in the 77 is what I was meaning to say. Starting to fall back in there, not quite getting much room for error. Nobody going 3 wide yet as we're currently working their way around. Working up some smoke, working up some speed, everybody kind of keeping towards the outside, kind of seeping towards the inside if they can. The only high is going up as high as that second line up on the track, and everybody right now I feel like is either questioning their spot or questioning their momentum. They know it's getting very tricky out here. Yeah, 7 to Kevin Baker right now doing a little pushing, a little shucking, a little diving, a little striving out here. Not looking like he wants to phase out too quick, doesn't want to give up too much, though gets a big bump there to Joker Joe Nuttleman in the 14. I don't know that affected Nuttleman as much as maybe I was giving the 87's impressions of, but he definitely gave him a good punch and a little shot in the arm there as he aided Tyler Orrick. Just kind of tries not to flinch or not to get too worked up. Knows he's got to stay under pressure and stay cool. Flipping this grip and flipping it on around here. 12 laps to go. Five Chantel Bottle now getting some help from the 21 of Robert Kahn. Once more, they'll work their way on the outside. Kahn, remember, was a couple laps down. He's now back on the lead lap as Corey Reed and Sidney Taylor using each other well and using each other for a little bit of speed. Remember the last time we were at the Superspeedway on the season over. Wait, no, trouble again, more trouble. Unfortunately, down the back front straightaway here, Nuttleman wrecking and Ford colliding with him. And just like that, trouble brews again, and it rears its ugly head in another horrible spot. Take a look at the replay, and Nuttleman definitely drove up a bit there, got his song, then got Oaks. And you can see the 6'6" Corey Stahl trying to avoid it. Corey, oh my word. Flips himself back over, but a wild ride there to say the least. The 66, unfortunately. We'll take one more look at it from the onboard camera here. And we gotta talk about how treacherous some of these races can be and how tough it can be to deal with. I'm honestly not sure if that was just a mental error or if it was a spotter error there for Joe Nuttleman. Either way, that will set the field back up in pace and on spot. So now they'll have to work their way around with only a few remaining laps left. And again, when you only got a couple more laps left and you're really starting to kick it home here at Talladega, there's not a whole lot left in the way of just keeping it clean, keeping it real with one another. From the pit road stops, Hunter Hansen at 13 will be the man that fires them off. Sean Long will be right there beside him. And with only 9 laps remaining, they'll go to 8 to go this time on by. Who is going to walk away with the first victory? The pit stop 50 needs a winner. We're going to find out here now. Packing them back in the middle now. Sean Long in the 98 moves the jump to the lead. Keith Taylor, the 08, up on the top side right now, working with him. The 5 is Chantel Pottle, also getting some run there. You've got a 3-truck battle for the lead from different levels and different playing fields here. Everybody throwing it all to the wire and throwing themselves for what they can get and what it's worth. Corey Reed now starting to make some moves up there. You can see him kind of picking and piecing and packing his way up through. Corey Stahl, Jeff Oakes still a lap down, unfortunately, and I don't think they're going to have another chance to get that lap back. Their chances starting to dwindle more and more. 7 will turn to 6 laps to go. The 5 hanging on up there. Just not giving up. Either is the 08 or the 27. Corey Reed and Keith Taylor both looking strong here. Hunter Hansen even starting to kind of pace and knock himself back through. Robert Hissong looking like he might be thinking the same. No driver though is safe from the big one that could come out. There it is right there. It's happened. The big one strikes at Talladega. And the big one struck in maybe the worst possible end and the possible timing for many of these drivers who were looking for that race end, that concluding factor. And pretty much now sets it nearly to a green-white checker scenario. Who the heck is going to be able to even walk away with this one, much less a win here? One more look at it. Let's see if the 27 comes down or if the 5 pushes him down. Let's see if maybe the 28 catches him or the 84, I should say. It looks like Keith barely clips him. Starts a huge chain reaction though, and we'll get another view of that one here in just a minute. But one more look at this. From my end, it looked like Corey was trying to get down to the bottom, and Keith gassed on it, and that's when he got the 27. And then look at this. Oh, my word. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. Some of our cameras actually got knocked out in that little wreck there that ensued. That was a huge, huge wreck. Many drivers involved there. We'll take one last look at it. We'll get the blimp cam out for this one. See a 7, Jeffrey Vickery, man, he went for an absolute ride and a half there. Chad Bass, Shane Ledoux, a lot of them got involved and got a wild little hiccup there. If you thought those next gen cup cars gave you headaches, I think that truck race right here today may give a few of these guys a few headaches, and maybe probably may want to see a chiropractor when this race is over with. My word. So, now that the stage is set, we have a green-white checker finish that needs to be done. Now, here is the rule of thumb. You get 3 green-white checkers here. They get 3 attempts. If they cannot get the first one in, they will try a second time. If the second one doesn't go in, we give them one last chance. If they can't even figure out how to get that done, the race is over. One last chance, one last opportunity before it could come crashing down. Top 5 on your screen. One last chance. Here we go. Can Chantal Bottle hang on? Will Robert Kahn work with it? Kahn has done this before. He's been in this spot. He almost won at iRacing Superspeedway last season. He'd love to do it again. They'll work their way around onto the backstretch. So far, so good. Drivers trying to find their runs, trying to find openings, looking for any hole they can sweep their way into. Bottle falls back. Hoffert and Kahn now up to the top. Hoffert snuck in between. Kahn tried to go below the guard, didn't work. Bottle threw a haymaker at him and didn't work for him. There we go. One more time around. We're going to get to the white flag. This time on by. They've got it lined up. Here comes the white flag high in the air. And that time around it was Bottle by a matter of 2/10 of a second. 200th of a second, I should say. Vickery right in the mix. His song right below. Looking to hang in there. Every driver themselves just trying to get what they can for what it's worth. Crossed up in the middle. So far, so good down the back half. No one making a mistake. The pushing and shoving. Shirley using upwards. 77 Steam Ford mixing it up on the back. Didn't get crossed up though. Everybody looking pretty clear to me. Can they get it to the front stretch for our drive off? Oh yes, they will. Jeffrey Vickery now with a slight lead over the 5 of Chantal Bottle. Lead him down to the finish. One more time the end. Vickery gets bumped a little bit. Anderson gets him loose. Recchi behind. And it's the 5 of Bottle that holds on for the win. Oh my. The throttle Chantal Bottle lives up to the nickname and her resume. She did not lift and did not give an inch. Boys, the ladies have done it again. They start the season with the top spot. The throttle Chantal Bottle will take home the win in the first leg of the season. She will now be the points leader with a who's who of drivers looking to knock her off of that podium, and soon can be time. Robert his song in the 28, showing a little bit of love to an old friend, an old colleague from some earlier days. The field wrecked out completely from behind. Looked like Jeffrey Vickery may have had some trouble there with the one of Bobby Anderson trying to push and shove his way through. Hard to really say. We'll take a look at the replay in a minute, but race fans, the 5 of Chantal Bottle is going to do the famous thing you do at any track. It's time to see the rubber burned off. Burnout time at Talladega. I think the fans have appreciated and enjoyed that one. What a finish. Your race results now presented by Ford Entertainment Group, PC.net now lined up here. Your winner by 53 thousandths of a second. The throttle Chantal Bottle pretty much outdoing Anderson by less than a half a truck length. Robert Hissong manages to go third though Jeffrey Vickery goes 4th. Robert Kahn going 5th in this one. Matthew Hopper gets 6th. Wally Babb takes 7th home. 8th for Stephen Ford. 9th for Tyler Orrick. And 10th to Jason Henry. Rounds out your top 10 in the first race of this illustrious season. The rest of your finishers now on the bottom end of this track here, race fans. And we'll take one last look as well as promised on the PTM Instant Replay on that last lap, just to show you guys what all went down as they were coming straight to the end of the line. We're going to focus on Bobby Anderson's rear view here and just give you guys a little bit of a look to see how it all shaped out, what went wrong for Vickery. You can see he's got the lead here, Anderson pushing and shoving. But as Vickery kind of gets a little bit loose, ends up costing him dearly. Everybody else gets into trouble. And Hofford barely catching the 7 in trouble there and catching everybody else off guard in that pursuit for the finish. And that is in total what happened to him. As for everybody else, you can see Rideout getting kind of crisscrossed up. Shane Ledoux and Jason Henry and all them just wrecking it straight to the line. And just usual Talladega nonsense. But in the end of the day, that's where the fun is. Race fans, thank you so much for tuning in. A big thank you to our friends at the Pit Stall, at the ButtKicker Company, Ford Entertainment Group, PC.net, and Lightning Wrapz for everything. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for coming on out as usual. And race fans, the next time we see you is later tonight for Pushing the Limits Racing League. But from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, thank you so much for tuning in to the season opener of the Pit Stall 50. We'll see you next time.